Because the other thing, perspective that William Nordhaus had was, his because he wants to make this global, but there's a lot of places that this is not of concern, and perhaps something they just politically they can't make happen. But he really believes in being a role model. So he says this. He says, why would other countries like China or India do anything like a carbon tax if the U.S. isn't doing anything? The U.S. doesn't have to do it alone, but should be in the first wave of adopters. Yeah, that's more of a perspective of William Nordhaus, for whatever that is worth. But I just thought that was worth,
personal philosophy.
Yeah,
and I kind of agree, because at the end of the day, in the West, we're kind of the ones that are exporting the culture, right? When you think about who's the predominant culture, it's kind of the West that's exporting their culture. And we think of globalization, it's like people in the East dressing like people in the West, not people in the West dressing like people in the East, right? Yeah, right. So just think about it like just practically in terms of like what's happening. Mm-hmm. So if people on the West or in Western countries, Canada, US, Europe, whatever, if they're the ones that are exporting the culture, then we are technically the leaders, and they're kind of following suit. They're the, people in the East, they're the ones that are dressing with like freaking skinny jeans and like freaking Yeezys and all that stuff. Well, you know what? Like they're starting to dress like us, and they're kind of changing it up, doing their own little thing. But yeah, I think let's call a spade a spade. So if we're the ones that are exporting the culture, then we also, if we were to take leadership in this type of situation, like carbon tax, I think it could lead to more pressure on those countries that like such as India and China to follow suit. Whether or not they will, that remains to be seen. But I believe that if there is global, international, ubiquitous pressure, then I think that they would eventually follow suit, because we have to consider that as countries become more developed, as GDP per capita grows, people gain more money. As they gain more money, they start thinking of different ways to spend it, and that's when our desire for environmentalism, for taking care of the environment, cleaning up the river, cleaning up the air, all that good stuff really comes in. Because before that, all you're thinking about is this making it. You're just trying to survive. So you have to consider that as those countries get wealthy, their interest is probably will increase towards environmentalism, and they're going to look towards the exporting of the culture. And if we're exporting the culture that, hey, we need to adopt a carbon tax, we need to, and it's got to be global, I think there's no guarantees, but it increases the probability that they will follow suit.